Welcome back. So this is part 2 of the lecture for Unit 1 in Design 2, where we were reviewing some basic ideas about color models and color wheels and different kind of color organizations, and then that led to talking about some examples of student assignments. And I was just talking about this particular one, and I feel like this one right here, both of these do a good job, but this one does a really excellent job of kind of getting at that idea of it suggesting local color and suggesting, or not local color, suggesting kind of like the color wheel, the kind of the the general perception of what the primary colors would be, but at the same time the colors feel very specific. So they're both referencing what would be kind of like the uh, um, we'll move on. So the next thing I wanted to just show are some examples of some student artwork. Actually, these are midterm and at the end of the semester independent projects. But it was interesting to me that a number of them were felt very much influenced by this first assignment in various ways. So there's this one and this one. These two both by Maceo. And this one, and all of these, I mean, some, like certainly like this one shows a lot of color theory ideas that come from lots of other parts of the class as well, but all of them seem to be in some ways kind of returning to some of the ambitions of that first color assignment. Another thing I wanted to cover was to show the final project for this unit. Project number 1 is, as you know, is a group project in which you make a chart based off of the chromaticity chart, and on the outside you have these larger color circles that represent kind of the nameable optical or spectrum colors, including both the colors of the additive and the subtractive system, and then in the middle with the small dots made with the hole punch, you have all of the in-between colors and all of the neutral, partially neutral or highly neutral colors, and that they should all be placed relatively in the right spot so that as they get closer to the center, they become more neutral. And here I just wanted to show you a little bit of a hint as to where we're going to be going, because in the second unit, the next thing we're going to be doing is thinking about expanding the color wheel three-dimensionally. And we'll be talking about the Munsell color spheroid in that model. And then that requires us to really carefully think about color in 3 dimensions, right, in terms of hue. But then for any particular hue, we need to think about value and intensity and be able to chart those out. So I have a little bit of time, so I want to go back to a couple of points since we have the time. Notice on the it and color wheel that it is actually a plan for a color sphere. If you really look at it, you could take all these triangular cutouts and then fold them in on themselves, and you could make something spherical. So Itten was already thinking about something like color spheroid, just like Munsell. That's one point I skipped on the first part. And then the other thing I wanted to say was about this image right here. I guess what I was trying to say was that the ideas are very kind of that it's communicating that sort of classic or iconic idea of what a triadic color system, especially one based off of the primaries, would look like, but then at the same time trying to make each color very particular. I think one of the things that makes both of these pretty successful is the way both students really thought about surface, so that they were aiming for overall areas of a single color and being relatively flat, but at the same time thinking of them as not being completely, barren flat. Okay, that's the end of the lecture. Thank you.